Thank you for watching this Ledger Gurus video on Finale Inventory Management. This video will cover how to create a new product inside Finale Inventory. In order to start the process of adding a new product, you're either going to click here on the home screen of where it says Products, or you'll come up here to where it says Inventory and click on Products instead. This will take you to a comprehensive list of all of your current products, and you can see all the different columns that you can see in a glance here. You can also customize these columns so that you can see different types of things in a glance. You can filter by it, you can search, you can do all kinds of things from this screen. I also want to mention that you don't have to add products one by one. You can also bulk import them. That's going to be a different video where we'll walk through the process on how to bulk import them. This video will primarily talk about how to create one product, and we'll also go into a deep dive on what you can track inside each product as well. When you go to create a new product, you're going to click here where it says Create Product, and you have the option of either having the system create a SKU ID, or if you already have a SKU ID in mind, then you can enter it here instead, and then click this blue button that says Use Enter ID. Now, I'm going to skip that process and show you one that I've already started so that you can see a couple things about it. So after you click that, it'll take you into the screen where it will have entered the product ID you gave it, or it will enter the product ID it gave it right here. So I want to first talk about a couple of the things that are being tracked for this particular SKU. Up here in the top, we can see a couple of things just at a glance about this particular product. I can see how much is currently the valuation of my stock. So I can see that I have 129 of these units on hand, and that the total amount that's currently contributing to the value of my total inventory asset is $2,925. Then I can also see what I would currently have on order and what would be reserved from committed sales, as well as this quick links to several reports that are specific to this particular product as well. I can also see the sales history for this particular product. Now let's get into the actual attributes that you can track for a product. So the only required field in this particular screen is the product ID. Some other things that clients commonly put in is a description in order to help keep their product ID straight. So product ID and description, and here's where you can choose a category. Now these are categories that were pre-entered into a different area of Finale. I'm not going to go into how to set up categories right now. It's a little beyond the scope of this particular video, but just know that you can have as many categories as you want. You can track, these are all customizable, track whatever categories you want to track. It's just something you set up on the back end before you start. And then down here, you're also going to indicate what the unit of measure is on this particular unit. Unit of measure, again, is in a different video that we're going to go into in a little more depth as well. But this is where you'll indicate what that unit of measure is. And then you'll also indicate some standard protocols for this, for example, standard packing and then standard bin ID. So this would be like where the item is most commonly stored in the warehouse. So down here, we're going to get into some purchasing information. And there's a couple of fields here that I want to mention. So you have a standard buy price. This is a standard buy price that you'll use with vendors, but this doesn't mean that when you enter a purchase order, you can't not use this price. This is just a reference for you. Any purchase order that you're actually creating, you can put in a price that's specific to that purchase order. Then you have this standard accounting cost. And the standard accounting cost is a little bit of an interesting field inside Finale. It basically gives you the ability to report on a different type of costing than your average cost. So Finale tracks the value of inventory on an average cost, but you can basically put in the standard accounting cost that will stay static. So no matter the purchases that you've entered and the things that have happened, this standard accounting cost stays the same. And you do have the ability to run cost reports out of the system that will either allow you to default to the calculated average cost or a standard accounting cost. Then down here, you have the ability to indicate the suppliers that are going to be preferred suppliers, and then a little bit of information about those suppliers. For example, do you have a different SKU number that you use with this supplier when you're ordering this particular part? What is their typical lead day? Just a great place to track some information about suppliers. Then down here, you have the ability to track the reorder information about this particular product, indicating what the standard reorder point is, what the, just take a look at these fields. It'll tell you a little bit more information. Then down here, we get into selling price. So you do have the ability to establish a basic standard selling price for this. Now, keep in mind that most of our clients are going to be e-commerce, and so the price is actually going to be established by the channel. And no matter what you put in here as a standard selling price, it will default to whatever the channel tells you. This is more for like companies that are using wholesaling or creating invoices out of the system to sell to customers directly that aren't necessarily buying off of a channel. All of this is optional. Keep that in mind. All of this is optional, all except for the product ID. None of this has to be filled out. It's really just here as a reference and a resource for you. Then down here, when we get into the valuation, if I was to start selling this product today and I was to run cost of goods sold report showing me the cost of this particular product when it's sold, it currently has an average cost of $22.67. This is calculated by all of the purchase orders that came in over time. Every time I buy this particular product, it changes out the average cost of this product. So that's where this average cost is coming from. And again, this is a little bit of that same information. Here's the current units that have in stock. Here's my current stock valuation. This is the same information that was right in the top. And then we come down here to custom fields. So this is something that would have been set up on the back end. And you have the ability to set up however many custom fields you want. And then you have the ability to either have them entered as drop downs like this or whatever type of data you want to be able to input into them. So when you are setting up your products, you should definitely consider the attributes of those products and the things that are meaningful to you and the things that you want to be able to track about that. Here we have information about the manufacturers, some basic information about the shipping of this particular item, like the weight of the units and how we want to weigh it, etc. And then if this particular item uses a bill of materials, meaning that we utilize other items within the system to actually build this particular item, this is where you would indicate the bill of materials required to build this particular item. And then down here we deal with product lookups. So product lookups is when, say that you're selling on multiple channels like Shopify and Amazon, and you have an ASIN number that this product is called on Amazon, but Shopify maybe matches the SKU of the system, maybe it doesn't, or maybe you have multiple products that are like multiple SKUs that all have different SKU names, but it's actually all the same product, and you want to track it inside Finale as one product source instead of multiple product sources, which is probably the best way to go about that. So product lookup is how you would go about doing that, where you would say, hey, when you see this product, actually point it at this product instead. So that's what product lookup is. So after you're done entering everything in here, again, keeping in mind, product ID is the only thing that's actually required. You're just going to click this button that says Save Changes, and then you'll be off and running with that one product. Here you also have the ability to duplicate this item or deactivate this item, or queue the quantity to update it to integration. So these are additional options that are available here as well.